I can't work a 9 to 5 job. Anytime I've ever tried, I started to legitimately lose my mind. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. I've worked at U-Haul before. I've worked at a call center. I've worked from home. I've done sales. I've done customer service. I've done real estate. I've done food service jobs, retail. I've done it all. Like, I've worked so many different types of jobs. Sometimes this job I might last 9 months.
How you gonna eat? That's the first question I'm asking. If you're not working a job, how you eating?
This one, 2 weeks, 3 months here, one day here. I've never lasted at a job longer than 1 year. I just can't do it. I legitimately can't do it. And anytime I've ever tried to express.
I'm thinking longevity is important. You need to have longevity at a job or the ability to sustain a job for a period of time. I don't know what he's about to say next, but I'm just saying, like, I'm just thinking, like, okay, longevity. We know jobs don't give pensions no more, but are you learning the craft or the skill of the job, whatever you're doing? Is it a transferable skill? Those are some of the things I'm thinking right now. But I'm listening. I'm listening to what you guys said.
This feeling to people that jobs aren't for me, people look at me crazy, like I'm lazy and like I need to suck it up, and that's just life. Newsflash, that's not just fucking life. If it was just life, there wouldn't be people who are doing whatever they want to do all the time. There wouldn't be the rich people. There wouldn't be people who are free. I feel like so many.
Yeah, people are doing what they want to do. They doing different jobs, but they put in the work. They pay the dues for that stuff. That's how they're able to do that. If you don't do that part, man, you're gonna struggle with the rest of it. You're gonna run into a situation where, I mean, different stuff gonna fall apart. It's not gonna work if you're not gonna do it. Like,
People are stuck. They're in like this box. I don't want to use the word matrix because I'm not trying to be cringe like Andrew Tate. Speaking of him, I just want to go on a little rant real quick. About like enjoying what you want to do, and it's just work, work, work. It's just grind and what the fuck. This isn't like caveman days where you're just doing shit just to do it. Like, we live in a time where you have the.
I don't know what he's about to say, but everybody defines what their life is gonna be like. Whether it's gonna be happiness, peace, joy, love. Everyone defines that. I mean, hard work. I'm just thinking, if you don't work hard early, you're gonna have to work hard later. You work hard later, it's because you played earlier. That's what I'm thinking. Off of it, very far and few between times do you see situations that don't end up like that. But I'm gonna let him cook. I'm gonna let him cook.
The ability to love what you do and be able to actually make it work. Why would I want to do something I don't like? Why would I want to hate my life?
Uh, There's no job, no position, no career, nothing in life that you will do that you will love 100% of what you do. There is going to be a small percentage, whether it's 5% or 10% of something that you don't like to do within a job, career, business, or something that you usually you want the split to be at least like 60-40, 60% doing something that you like to do, let it do or whatever, and then 40 tasks and things that you might not. That's usually a pretty good split from the studies that I've heard or found about.
Somebody could give me $500,000 and say, "Here, work this 9 to 5 job for the next 60 years." Fuck you. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's not about the money for me. It's never been about the money. I want freedom. I want.
Now that part, I agree. I heard, I think it was Mark Cuban who made a comment. He said, "I'd rather I'd rather get paid 50K from starting a business of my own than doing something else." Yeah, but you should most definitely make sure you have multiple sources of income from what it is because even in business you want to have it that way. So you could just get your stuff together, but you still should be able to handle your business or situation responsibly, because sometimes it may depend on the job that you do, may take a particular amount of time for you to work in a particular job for you to master the skills to eventually branch out and do your own thing. So
Happiness. That's what this shit is all about. Why would I want to make my life miserable and spend 70% of my life at a job?
I think miserable is a mindset, and you determine if it's a job as a mindset too. What might be a job to somebody? What might be a job that one person might be their career for? Like you could say, like, oh, working at a skating rink is only a job for me, but working at a skating rink for someone else might be a future career for them. They might say, you know what, I want to own my own skating rink. So they learn all the intricate stuff from the ground up, how everything functions, how to take care of the floor, how to get the DJ, how to take care of skates, how to get skates, how to handle the parking lot, what you got to do to rent the building, to you own the building. Like a job to one person may not be a job to someone else. It's not all equal and the same for different people.
I even hated school. Like as a kid, I remember starting school, whether
The true essence of education, and I'm not trying to get our old boy, but I hear what he's saying, but the true essence of education is to understand what you haven't been taught that you need to learn. But if you not open to hear it, then or see it, to figure out, okay, what am I not being taught that I need to learn, that I need to know? That's like rule number one. The true essence of education is to see, like, oh, y'all teaching me this? Oh, I need to learn this. Like a perfect example I use, like, all right, let's I like using sports, basketball, whatever. Pick different subjects you might be. Like you might learn how to just dribble straight or how to shoot a jumper, but if you be like, oh, I want the AI crossover, that Bubba Chuck crossover, you learn that, then you be like, oh, that's something different. That's added to the repertoire. Oh yeah, that's what you want to do. You want to like Major Payne. It's pull it out my repertoire.
it was at 7 a.m. or at 8 a.m., 6 a.m., leaving at 3, 4, 5, whatever. And I'm looking around.
That teaches you discipline. Everybody needs discipline. When you have a business, you need to have hours, employees there who will do what they need to do. So you need to have that structure in place. Even as somebody who works a job, usually, sometimes there's outliers that don't need to do there. Like you could work a 4-hour work week. I heard that. I mean, just depends on what you're going to do for the rest of your career in life and what you want it to look like and how you want it to look and how you want your retirement or when you get up in age, above the age of 50, 60, 70, how you want that to look.
And I'm like, does anybody else not see how crazy this is? Like, what are we actually doing right now? I'm learning about this.
If a lot of old people say if they could go in the past, they would do some things differently, some things not differently. Sometimes you don't really understand what's going on. It's important that you ask the right question. I always say try to find a way to make it. If you at school, try to find a way to make it fun, and then make sure you asking the right question. If you're not getting, or you might be asking the wrong person the right question. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you asking the right question?
This bullshit that I know won't matter. And when I ask the teacher, when am I going to use this in real life, they can't give me an answer.
You asking the wrong teacher. Because I can tell you right now, if mathematics, why is mathematics important? Mathematics is important to count, to make sure you do your contract, write your contract, understand the numbers and functions, understand how compound interest could work for you or work against you. What's the split? Is the split good? Like reading, being able to read your contract, so you don't always have to have a lawyer come do it, legalese and whatnot, to understand what's going on. Geography, understanding how things will function where under everything's at, history, how history repeats itself or it rhymes. And am I missing a subject? Social studies, how the study of social interaction, how it continues to interact with different cultures and whatnot. Are you going to open up a company or do something in another country culture? What's a particular area? I mean, even within the states, there is different way that things operate. You know what I'm saying? And different, like, what you can't do on the West Coast, you can't do on the East Coast. I mean, like, that's that Master P stuff. How he started that, and then he started for the East Coast, and he eventually branched over to the West Coast, and he started incorporating a lot of different people. I mean, the easiest way to say it is there's a lot of ways to get to the number 10. You could add 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, and however many ones take 10 ones. Or then 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus whatever to equal 10. 7 plus 3 equals 10. There's a lot of ways to get to 10, but the goal is still to get to 10. So you just got to make sure that it fits. But if you think something that's a 1 and it's really a 0, then now we have a problem because you don't know. Not knowing what you don't know can be a big problem at some point in time.
I knew it was bullshit from the beginning, but it was like I was a kid, and all I have to do is get the grades, or else I'm gonna get in trouble at home. That's what life was. So now as an adult who's able to finally make decisions, I'm looking at the cycle basically repeat itself, where instead of it being school, it's work, and people are like, just do it. Anytime I try to
my coach told me, running suicides, running gases. I mean, it's better if you love it, but if you don't love it, you do gotta just do it. So, just do it. Yeah, some things just gotta get done. Like that's. I think that's where you find true growth, that people happen in growth gains, and I think things go across the board. Like you tired, you don't feel like going to the gym, but that's when you still gotta push it and work out. You may not work as intense, but you still gotta work out. Doing a job, working it. I mean, whatever you're trying to do, making a sale, making content, you still gotta do it. You may not feel like it, but you still gotta do it. Find a way to get it done. That's where you find that growth, where you're able to maintain that. You know what I'm saying? So the dips don't dip as low. You maintain it. That over time, that compound interest, Warren Buffett, woo, that compound interest add up, and that's how you jump leaps and bounds ahead of your competition, because you did what it took. When they was resting, you was still working, you was grinding. You know, there's balance, but yeah.
Tell people I can't work a job, they don't understand where I'm coming from. I'm not doing it. Fuck a job. I can't do it. I've tried anything and everything to make it work. I've tried drugs like antidepressants and ADHD meds. It doesn't matter. Trying to make myself normal, right?
Now that's a little bit of a touchy subject, because I don't know. Different people have different stuff going on with them. So I would always say refer to seeking a professional, whether it's someone who can help you or assist you with what's going on. But that's more professional type help. But if we don't work, how we gonna eat? That's what I'm thinking.
Trying to make sure I can just work the job like everybody else. No. I need to accept that this is who I am, right? And that's fine.
Is that really who you are, or is that who you think that you are? Is that really who you are, or is that you think you are? You know what I'm saying?
And I shouldn't feel guilty about this is who I am. I shouldn't feel guilty about that. Like, okay, you can work your regular job and you can be fine with it. Not me.
Now, I'm not going to disagree with you there. Like, you may not have to work a 9 to 5. You may not have to work a regular job. But whatever you decide to do, position, career, business, you still going to have to work it like a job. But hopefully you set it up so you can scale it. You set it up so that it's so that you're not working so much in the business, that you're working on the business to build it up so it can scale. But that all depends on the model that you set. Like if you have a model and you can't, and if it's not, if you can't scale it, you know what I'm saying, then it really hurts how much you could grow it, you know, because like some skills, there's a cap, there's a cap to how much you get paid. I always looked at it and researched and studied that you can only do so much with the body. Like with time, if you're doing a task or a skill that is a service, you'll always be limited by the amount of time or the amount of employees that you have, because we could do the multiplication. But you know, if it's physical, then you're limited on time. If it's more mental or something like that, then you start changing. When you start adding different layers, if you start getting involved in real estate and you work that out well, or it's a online product or something, when you start working and you find great multiples that can help you, then that's when you really start. You have to find the appropriate vehicles that will achieve the thing that you want it to do. If you want to have if you want to have spaceship results, you need to put it in a spaceship type vehicle. You can't put it in a hoopty type vehicle and then expect space shuttle or airplane or jet or even a properly functioning car. You can't expect it to do like that if it's a hoopty. You gotta make sure you choose your vehicle wisely. And when I say vehicle, I'm not saying about an actual vehicle. I'm saying the vehicle of which you want to create wealth, create income, create cash flow, revenue. You know what I'm saying? All that makes a difference. Like that makes a difference. The position that you choose is it paying higher? Are you managing the position, not just only position, but the business that you establish? Are you selling high ticket items? Are you selling low ticket items? All that stuff makes a difference. So
I don't care. I live alone. I have bills, right? I have to pay my rent. I have to pay my car insurance. I have to pay my credit card bills. I have so many bills. But I'd rather be uncertain about where my money's gonna come from than have to work a job that I hate. It doesn't matter. I don't care about the money.
if you're missing payments, you have credit cards, and you're paying more on money than you need to, that's there is a such thing as expensive money. There's cheap and inexpensive money, and there is expensive money. I know it don't sound like a thing, but I promise you it's a thing, because that means you paying more. Like, well, there's two ways you can look at it, and I'm not a financial guru by any means, but I know enough to know that if you using your credit card and you've got a high interest rate, or you just paying interest on it, even if it's a low interest rate and you don't pay it off before the cycle ends, and you're paying more, and $100 item is costing you more, even if you use cash, because you still have to pay for that transaction online. So
I want autonomy for who I am. A great example.
and interest over time, item over time, or inflation. My bad, inflation over time. Because what you used to buy with $1, these man, gas. What was it? 1930s, 19. I don't want to say 1960s. Probably between 1930s, 1960s, maybe 40s. Gas was $1. Gas is $4. What's it gonna be in the future? You gonna use gas? I don't know. We're gonna see.
Example is my last job. I just quit my last job. I started my new job like a month ago. And
Given 2 weeks is what's considered appropriate, but jobs don't do it. But given 2 weeks is what's considered appropriate.
it was working fine. I was, telling my parents about it, having conversations with my dad, everybody was saying like, yeah, this is finally good. Like you're finally like going somewhere and you're doing something, and I was like, it's whatever. And then I'm working there, and like I'm starting to like just get the feelings that I always get when I have a job, where it's just like, ugh, I don't want to go to work. And it's like when I get off of work, I have no energy left, and I'm dreading like bedtime because I know as soon as I wake.
All right, what I'll say to that part is, you at least got. I know sometimes you're working a job, you're not gonna like it, you're not gonna enjoy everything about it, but you got to find the love and interest in what you choose to do. Sometimes, if you're feeling blah, are you working out? Are you eating right? Are you getting enough sunlight? Like those are things that are real. Are you getting enough sleep? Or are you hitting your full circadian rhythm? You know what I mean? I know some people operate and do less and sleep less and try to get different work done, but I think they're operating things different. They're not just working a typical 9 to 5. And then I've heard the argument that some people, you get more done because like you have to work a job, you have to be there at a certain time and do this, so you do what you're supposed to do. So you can't say discipline doesn't exist because you'll be there on time for the job, because you know you get fired or released and then you run into issues with your job. But if it's for your own business, are you still showing that same discipline? So I mean, that's what I said. I like what he's talking about, his content. I'm gonna try to look more into it, but I saw this video and I wanted to just share some insights on it and just hope that'll be beneficial to some people. All right. I'm not gonna listen to the whole video, but it's there, so you guys can look at it anytime you want to. But I did want to add those points to it. All right. Hope everything works out for y'all. Wish y'all well.